Wonder how your Team OVR is calculated in FIFA Mobile 22? We should, because it's absolutely not what you think, unless maybe you're on mescaline. Determining Team OVR has always been pretty straightforward in FIFA Mobile. That all changed in 22. The math to get you there now is absolutely batshit crazy. Before we get into it though, make sure you subscribe here at YouTube, turn on notifications, like, comment, all that stuff. Then check out my Twitch channel and finallysleeps.com for all of my gaming stuff. Take a deep breath, buckle up, throw your math brain out the window. It's about to get stupid up in here. To determine your team's OVR, you need to break it down into 3 different numbers. The first number you need is the average original OVR. This requires a little work if you have ranked your players. If so, you'll need to look at their details page and determine their original OVR. I have it circled here in yellow on Bale, who's been trained and ranked up one time. So he's showing as an 86 on your team page, but his actual original OVR is 85. Now, if you add the original OVR for all 11 players, then divide by 11, you're going to get your average, the average original OVR for what they are. Now, here's where your 4th grade math teacher is going to lose her mind. If the average is not an integer, it must be increased to the next whole number, which is basically math speak for anything with a decimal goes up to the next number. For example, if the average base OVR for all of your players ends up being 89.0001, you increase it to 90. Told you it was crazy. Okay, second number you need is the average rank level. Add all of your ranked levels together, then divide that by 11 to get their average. Makes sense? But not really, because here's where your 4th grade math teacher, already in the throes of a mental breakdown, is going to go full on One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. When you look at a ranked player's details, right now it shows train 1, under the player OVR. It's circled in yellow here. But that's not their train level. It's their rank level. The number under the player on the actual card art is their training level. For example, if a player has been trained to level 5, so it's got a 5 down there like Ronaldinho has, but he has not been ranked up yet, it's still going to show 5 on the bottom of their card art, but a 0 for their training level because they haven't been ranked up yet. It's a rank level, not a training level. Hopefully they'll fix this translation error eventually. Again, to get their rank levels, you'll need to look at each card's details if you've ranked them up, and then add those training numbers together, then divide by 11 to get their average rank level. As if your 4th grade math teacher hasn't already been through enough. Again, if that average is not an integer, it must be increased to the next whole, which means if you have 11 players and only one of them has been trained to 5 and then ranked up one time, you're going to add 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0. So it's 10 zeros plus 1, which is going to equal 1. It's 1. There's only one plus level from ranking. But you're going to divide that by 11, so the average is going to be 0.0909 repeated. So 0.09, but you increase that to 1 because it's not an integer. Okay, the third number you need is the average boost level. Oh my God, that poor math teacher. All right. Add all of your boost levels up, then divide by 11 to get the average boost level. And you guessed it, if the average is not an integer, it must be increased to the next whole. So we're going to add those 3 numbers together. The bumped average original OVR, the bumped average rank level and the bumped average boost level. You're going to add them all up, and then you don't divide anything, you don't do anything, you just add those three numbers together. That's the final Team OVR. Average original OVR increased to the next integer plus the average rank level increased to the next integer plus the average boost level increased to the next integer. Now, in my team, for example, to get this to 91, you add all of their original OVR. So, like, Ter Stegen's 90. Ronaldinho, even though he says 90 there, his original is an 89 because he's been ranked up one time. Werner at 84. Bale's another one. It says 86, but he's actually an 85. The rest of them are all the same, except for Robertson. He's an 87, even though he shows as an 88. Trippier too. Trippier is an 84, even though he's showing at 85. You add those numbers up, 89, 90, 84, 85, 86, 84, 80, 87, 83, 88, 84. They all add up to 940. Divide that by 11. It turns out to be 85.4545 repeated. You're going to increase that. You're going to bump it up to 86 because all those decimals, it's not an integer. That becomes your bumped average original OVR. Add all the rank levels together. So Ronaldinho was a 1, Bale was a 1, Robertson's a 1, Trippier's a 1, and the rest are zeros. It's just 4 divided by 11 is 0.3636 repeated, which is not an integer, so you're going to bump it to 1. That becomes the new bumped average rank level. Add all their boost levels up. So if you look at their boost levels, Ter Stegen's a 4, Ronaldinho's a 3, Werner's a 4, Bale's a 4. It's just that plus number next to their position. You add those all up, it equals 43. You divide it by 11. It turns out to be 3.9090909 repeated. But again, it's not an integer. So we need to bump it up to the next integer. So the bumped average boost level becomes 4. And you're going to add those three numbers to get the Team OVR. 86 plus 1 plus 4 equals 91. Now what this means is to get the team to 92, I need to increase one of those average numbers up over the next integer. So it needs to go to the next number plus a decimal spot. Boost is the closest thing I've got. Right now I'm at 43 because I added all those boost numbers up. It turns out to be 43. If I were to take the boost to 44 and divide it by 11, it's still 4. It doesn't change. But if I take it to 45, just one extra boost, and divide it by 11, it's going to be above 44. It's no longer an integer, so it's going to increase to number 5. Gives me that plus 1, which will bump the OVR up to 92. For the average rank level to go up and increase my Team OVR, I would need like 8 more ranks. For the average original OVR level to go up and increase my Team OVR, I would need to replace a bunch of players with new players that are at least 6 more OVR than what I have now without changing the boost or rank levels on any of them. See, now, don't you feel bad for your 4th grade math teacher? Hopefully this didn't confuse you, and I don't know, you're probably confused, but hopefully this didn't confuse you any more than you already were or are now. If anything, it should explain to you why your OVR is increasing quicker than you expect it to sometimes, and then other times when you feel like you've done a bunch of stuff and that it should have went up and it didn't. Now, if this did help, make sure you subscribe here at YouTube. Check out finallysleeps.com, and don't forget to follow over at Twitch. The links are all at the bottom. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. As long as you guys keep watching, I'll keep making videos.